What is up, all my Nexus family? It is your host, Dr. Daniel Kimbley, and you are tuned into another episode of the Nexus Podcast. And on this week's episode of the podcast, what I want to talk about is something that not only have I heard a bunch of times in the office this week, but I actually saw an Instagram post that got me kind of fired up because there's this belief I have about human beings. And before I get into what that belief is, let me just share with you what I saw on Instagram. So I'm literally sitting there. It was one night. I think I was waiting for Heather to put Coco to bed, or waiting for Heather to come downstairs so we could have a little conversation. Coco was already in bed. And I'm literally just thumbing through my phone, kind of looking at Instagram, checking in for the day. And one of the things I see is a friend, an acquaintance of mine who I've known for quite some time, make this post about I'm getting too old for this thing that they were doing. And I don't want to necessarily call them out, so I'm not going to tell you exactly what it was. But let's just say, in my opinion, it was something that they should be able to do, like, as long as they want to do it. And so I have this, like, huge belief in my life about something very specific, and that is this, is that age is nothing but a number. Like, I truly believe that age realistically is a lie in a lot of ways. And so all the time I hear people like, oh, at 30 years old, my back's just supposed to hurt, my knees are supposed to hurt, and that's just how it is when you get old. Or, oh, headaches are just normal, and that's what happens when you get old. Or waking up creaky and achy in the morning, and that's just what it's like to get old. And like, I'm not saying I'm the oldest ever, I'm approaching 40, and I really feel like today, truly, my body is in the best shape it has ever been in ever in my life, at my oldest age ever. And the coolest part about it is, like, this episode is not about me, it's literally about you and the people that we take care of. And what I see is that time and time and time again, clients who come into our office feeling broken, feeling hopeless, feeling old, feeling like, that old version of myself that used to be able to push it super hard in the gym is like they're dead, and I'm just looking for a new, like, more mediocre reality. And I'm just trying to get any semblance, like, of my life back that I possibly can, but I know I'll never get back to XYZ. And the reality is like, I truly believe, like I said, the age is just a number. It's nothing more than a story that you tell yourself about what you're capable of or you're not capable of. And so when I saw this post from an acquaintance, it really just got me fired up, because I'm like, dude, you have actually experienced the benefits of what it feels like to function at your highest level possible at your oldest age ever, and then you chose out of that. So you can't post on social media as a complaint about feeling like you're old, or feeling like you're falling apart, or feeling like your balance is suffering, and this person's the same age as me. So really, what I want to share with you today is not only a couple stories of, like, exact instances inside of my practice that I've seen this week that portray this idea of how we were designed to function as human beings, what it's like to live a vitalistic lifestyle, and then I want to share some research with you as well. So that's right, I'm literally going to read the research off my screen, just one piece of it, because I feel like it's so crucial to understand. It's like, it's not just me saying this thing. It's not just this guy who's, like, vibrant and fired up about chiropractic who says that, hey, like, people were designed to be healthy. People were designed to live at 100%. People were designed to be able to perform full out, and it doesn't matter of the age. Except for time and time and time and time and time and time again, inside of my office, I see people function at the highest level possible. And the reason that they do is because they understand this vitalistic lifestyle that we live. This lifestyle that includes having a nervous system that is on fire because they get chiropractic care, neurologically speaking, and they understand that your brain literally controls every single function in your entire body. And if your brain is functioning less than, one of the reasons that your brain will function less than is because of stress. And some people could say inflammation or other things, but guess what? Inflammation is caused by stress. So we're looking at the cause of all these things. Weak brain. The weaker the brain is, the more like crap you're gonna feel. The weaker your brain is, the worse your posture is gonna be. The weaker your brain is, the worse decisions you're gonna make. The weaker your brain is, the less you're going to function at 100% like you used to. And there's a very specific set of research that actually supports this idea that chiropractic care and the way that we address the brain and the nervous system says specifically that we can increase and optimize your genetic expression within your body. And there are multiple studies on this. And so I'm getting fired up about it. I get super passionate about it because I know what is possible for you. If you're listening and you're sitting there and you're skeptical and you're doubting, listen to the stories that I'm about to share with you. They all seemingly, it's completely ridiculous, but they're mostly going to have to do with golf because that's what I've seen this week in the office. And I'd love to just share about what's real inside of my life, what's happening in my practice, what's happening in the business, what's happening with the people who I love and have the biggest honor ever to get to take care of. And so here we go. First client one of our clients, been with us just about 6 months now, absolutely crushing it, comes into us with 3 primary goals. One, he wants to lose some weight, which he did. Amazing, like committed to meal prepping, eat clean, and like plans all of his meals out and counts and weighs how much he eats, and like he's doing amazing. Lost a bunch of weight. He was committed to surfing, and he's committed to golfing. So golfing is like this guy's thing. He's a scratch golfer. He's an amazing human being. And he comes into us and he's kind of feeling broken. He's like, dude, can't surf, need to lose some weight, definitely can't golf. Like if I play a round of golf, I feel terrible for multiple days after, and it affects my performance in business. It affects my ability to be able to pick up and play with my kids. And so this guy's younger, maybe just a little bit older than me, and yet he has all of these issues inside of his life that are preventing him from living life full out. One of them being playing golf with his friends. So quite simply, he starts coming into us, we start adjusting him, we create balance within his brain, just like we do with everybody that we take care of, and guess what happens? Playing the best rounds of golf that he's ever played in his life. Multiple times a week, no pain, no stiffness, not feeling old anymore, like absolutely crushing it. Lost a bunch of weight, enjoying time with his kids, enjoying time with his family. One of the coolest things, I'll allude to this when I talk about the research here in a second, is that his family just all came down with the sickness. He's the only one who didn't get it at all. Why? Because chiropractic care, the way we affect the brain, the way we strengthen the nervous system, actually allowed his immune system to function better. I'll talk about that in a little bit. So that's one example. On the other end of the spectrum, we have another client, one of my favorite clients to take care of, comes to us with 40 years of low back pain. 40 years of swinging a golf club at the golf course, and like my back's just messed up. If you could just pop my back into place, that would be amazing. It's gonna help me feel better. Like all these things, and I would hear this over and over, and I'm like, listen dude, like this is about your brain, not about popping some joints back into place. I know you guys see that on TikTok and you see that on Instagram, but that's not what chiropractic is about. Chiropractic is actually about waking up your brain, because your brain controls your expression of life. And so we have this client, sits down with us, we start him under care. He's been with us for multiple years now, but literally he's at his oldest age ever. He's almost 80 years old, and he's playing the best rounds of golf he's ever played ever in his entire life. Well, my question is this, is like, if old age was just the thing, if we were meant to fall apart then as we got older, then how is it that people we have coming through our practice every single day, day in, day out, like start expressing themselves at the highest level possible again? Start doing things that they never thought they would be able to do again. Literally yesterday, I had a woman lay face down on her table. We've been adjusting her for just about a year, maybe a year and a half. And as she lays down, and she told me 2 weeks ago, she said, Daniel, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do hot yoga. And it's gonna be the first time I've tried it since I started coming to see you. Then I'm like, you should totally do it. Guess what? I felt amazing was her response. It was one of her goals that she had had for over a year, is to be able to get back into doing hot yoga again, because she wanted to feel like that uplifted highest version of herself. And guess what? Doing it in a way that she never thought possible. Was it because she was just getting old? No. It was because the way that her brain was functioning was keeping her from doing the things that she loved to do. This is what we're about inside of our office, is allowing people to live and enjoy and profit from their experiences in life like nobody else can do. So my question is like, where in your life, where inside of your life do you feel like you're blaming age? Where inside of your life do you just say, like, use it as an excuse, as, you know, oh, it's just getting old, or oh, that's just the way it's supposed to be? I can tell you, for me, when I lived in Indiana and I was playing volleyball, like all of us, literally every single person that I played with, we're all in our early to mid 20s. We're all doing CrossFit and eating healthy. We're all stretching. We're all playing competitive volleyball. And there was one thing that I did differently than everybody else. And the one thing that I was doing differently was I had chiropractic care as a part of my lifestyle. I was getting adjusted multiple times a week because I understood this principle, the vitalistic principle, that my body knows how to heal itself, that age is just a number, and that the only way that I'm going to age gracefully is if I have a brain that is well connected to the rest of my body, which is what we do in our office, is we connect the brain to the body so the body can function at the highest level possible. And so I start getting adjusted. I notice all these friends around me, Tylenol, Advil, there was a plastic surgeon who's like giving out prescription pain medications, like all these things, right? Highly illegal, fully aware. And like, I'm looking at these people and I'm like, dude, why? I'm not like that. Like, why is it that they're different than me? Like, why is it that they have to take medication to play and I'm at 100%? And the only thing that we did differently, like I said, we were exercising well. We were eating well. We all had good mindset. We all had good jobs. The only difference was that I was seeing a chiropractor and nobody else was. And so I see this time and time and time and time again. And here's what the research says on it, right? The research says that we know that if you have a nervous system that is stuck in a fight or flight state, you are going to function less as a human being. You're going to make worse decisions. Your posture is going to be more poor. Your immune system is going to function less than. Your genetic expression is going to be less than. Here's what the research says in regards to our immune system specifically and how that modulates into our aging process. And so it says that our immune competence is known to substantially decrease with age. And immunologists have determined with chiropractic patients aged 21 to 87, so this is not like it's newborn babies, this is not like it's the oldest of the old, this is like prime time middle age 21 to 87, there was no decrease whatsoever in immune competency in the chiropractic patients from 21 to 87. There was no decrease in immune function. The only difference between normal healthy people and the chiropractic group was that the chiropractic group was under long-term chiropractic care, which means over 6 months of consistent adjustments. So what does this mean? This means that from the research is that these 21 to 87 year olds, where everybody else, a normal person not under chiropractic care, their immune system starts to decrease with function, they get sick more frequently, they get affected more frequently, their body starts to fall apart at a deeper level and more quickly. The chiropractic patients had no change, and the only thing that indicated that there was going to be no change is that they had more than 6 months of chiropractic care. So when people come to me and they say like, oh, he's just a chiropractic quack trying to make more money, he just wants to sell people a care plan, guess what? The reason that I put you on a care plan, the reason that I ask you to come in multiple times a week, the reason that I ask you to come in week after week after week, the reason that my daughter, the reason that my wife, the reason that myself, the reason that my teams, the reason that the people who are closest to me inside of my life have chiropractic care is because we understand that our immune system is going to function better. It's going to gracefully age us better because we're literally going to change our genetic expression. Here's the coolest part of this study that I just shared with you. Yes, I'm talking about the immune system, but here's what the researchers say. And again, these are not chiropractors. These are expert immunologists who say this. They say, this suggests that chiropractic care could potentially optimize whatever genetic abilities these people have so they can now fully express themselves, in which the normal individuals or diseased individuals cannot. What are the words that I use? Genetic abilities. Aging is just a number. Not being able to do the thing that I saw this guy want to do and not be able to do on Instagram is not a result of his age. It is literally a result of his genetic expression. It is literally a result of his nervous system function, which, by the way, affects the immune system, which, by the way, affects the balance system, which, by the way, affects the muscular system and the bone system and the pancreatic system and the endocrine system and all the systems in the body. I get so fired up and so passionate about this because I urge you to just consider that you are not old. You are not meant to fall apart with age. And by living a vitalistic lifestyle and understanding that your body is designed to be self-healing, self-regulating, and self-maintaining, and when you fuel it properly, and when you move it properly, and when you understand that your neurology, your nervous system, your brain controls how optimally you are going to live out your life, it can change the game for you, like it did for me, like I did for the clients I shared, like I did for every single one of these clients inside of the research that I just shared with you. And remember, the key is that over 6 months of adjustments, it takes time. It's something that takes repetition. It's just like anything else. So my friends, my question for you is this. Where in your life are you feeling less than? Where in your life are you feeling stuck? Are you using age as an excuse? And what's one thing that you can start to do today to influence your genetic expression? Because there are decisions you can make that will directly influence what happens to you tomorrow and every single day after, and it comes down to one thing and one thing only, and that's a choice. My friends, I love you, I appreciate you, I hope you got some value out of this episode, and I will most definitely come at you again next week. Peace.